Yo guys, what is up? It's your boy ProGamesPlayer, and today we are doing a tactics video on the ND-D1, one of the coolest looking cars in the game. And basically what you want to do is, first of all, you just want to drive around and figure out how this car handles, because it handles unlike any other car in the game. So, when you drive at fast speeds, you pretty much get to turn like this, and sometimes if you handbrake, you will end up initiating a drift. So like I said, a drift is initiated by handbraking, and that happens when, let's say, you turn left, and while you're turning left, you press right, and your car enters drift mode. Now, one thing to note here is that it is a bit tough to control. You have to get used to the whole drift mode thing, but once you get used to it, it's really powerful. So, let's just get away. And once you enter a drift mode, you notice how your car starts to handle differently, as in it no longer drives normally. See, when you're in a drift mode, I would say you are sort of in a locked position. You're locked in three modes. The first mode is when you don't do anything and you just slide around for a few seconds before the drift automatically ends. The second mode is when you keep holding left down and your car oversteers. The other mode is when you understeer, and that pretty much is another way to pretty much exit the drift. But as you can see, what this drift also does is it actually gives you a temporary boost in speed because you actually drive faster. Now, once you get to handle this boost, here's how you use it. You pretty much find an opponent and you try and very quickly get away, and you basically try and either speed away from them or get around them. Now, as you can see, the interactions between me and the speed, between the drift and the environment are definitely noticeable. Like sometimes I can just end up flying away, but I am really fast. And here, as you can see, I can just circle around opponents, and that happens. Now, like I said, the focus should be to handle drifting as much, because the thing here is, most cars, you can just probably use a handbrake and stop the car immediately. But with this car, the only way to actually stop the car is to simply just brake. This is your only way of fully stopping the car and heading into reverse. Because trying to do it quickly by just handbraking and then your car is stopping anyway, you will end up activating a drift. So my suggestion is learn how to activate a drift and learn how to handle the drift modes, which I said there were three. And that way you will be able to pretty much handle this car and you won't need to brake or any sort of action like that. Another great way to learn this car is to go on the Atlantis map and pretty much try and drift around the ring. Maybe even use the landmines that are on the ground as cones, let's say. You're supposed to avoid the cones, and that way you can improve your drifting. Now, as far as tactics go, when you're not drifting, this is a moderately fast car, but as you can see, it drifts a lot. As in, when you just normally turn, the car slides around and it's really tough to pick up objects. Now, usually you would like handbrake to get closer to something, but instead you initiate a drift. So like I said, this car just handles very differently than any other car, and it's sort of a new thing you have to learn, a total new system. So make sure you get that under your belt, and then you can actually utilize this car for some epic kills and whatnot. So as you can see right now, I can drift, but it's actually really tough to initiate a drift that lasts for a very long time. The car pretty much wants to stop the drift, as in, it's really tough to make a drift last forever. But as you can see, the way you can use this drift is to give yourself a speed boost. You literally have a free speed boost, and you don't even need a power-up, so you can just avoid trebuchets, maybe even get away from black holes. Definitely use it to get away from opponents. You can pretty much use this mostly as an escape tactic. If you want to use it as an offensive tactic, because I mostly use this for defense purposes, yes, you can use it for an offensive manner, but you would really have to know how to drift and also use it defensively so that you can actually use it offensively, because it's a really tough car to use and you might get yourself killed and whatnot. But yeah, as you can see, here's how you actually end up making an infinite drift. You basically enter drift mode, you stay on the first mode, like I said, you just don't touch anything, and then once you're in the drift, what you want to do is you want to repeatedly tap. If you're drifting left, the left side of the screen to drift leftwards, and you to do the opposite, you obviously need to touch the right side of the screen. Tap the right screen repeatedly. Yeah, so this is how you pretty much initiate an endless drift. But like I said, this is mostly for fun. It doesn't actually do, like, there's not much of a purpose. You probably will get taken out, but here you go. As you can see, I can just drift like that. Oh, that would have been such an awesome kill. But yeah, as you can see, I avoided that black hole, and that's pretty much how you drift the car. And yeah, sometimes stuff like that can happen, but yeah, that's the ND-D1. Like I said, one of the most tough cars to use. I actually got comments suggesting this video, and people said that it was really hard. And the thing here is, yes, it is a very difficult car, maybe one of the toughest to learn, but it is one of the coolest cars, and you can also do a lot of fun stuff with it. So guys, make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to watch my other videos, and I'll see you later. Peace.